Welcome back to Captain of Industry. Today we're going to look again at some amazing layout. We're going to talk in particular about steel and some of the byproducts that you can also create from steel. And I guarantee you, you may have already seen an efficient, beautiful steel layout, but the one I'm going to show you is even better. Let's dive right in. As always, I plan to show you the end result, but also how I build it from scratch, and also some tips and tricks along the way, as well as how to expand it even further. You don't get steel from the start, you actually need to develop with steel smelting. This is after research 2 over here. You move to steel smelting. You'll also unlock the air separator over here that produces oxygen, which is needed, as you can see here, and some nitrogen. Toward the end of the video, I'm also going to talk about how this nitrogen and steel will be making liquid nitrogen in the chemical plant, which is needed to get lab equipment number 2. But even if you haven't reached research lab level 3 yet, this video will still be super useful, because this way you can create a steel plant that will be ready for the future, even if you don't have yet this building, and it will be working, don't worry. You'll just have to change one small thing until you get actually this building, and then you'll change that. If you have unlocked steel smelting, but you haven't unlocked yet research lab level 3, you may have unlocked either conveyor belt 2. This is fine, don't worry, I'll show you how to do it without flat conveyor level 2. The only thing we actually do need, otherwise it may get a bit more challenging, is pipe level 2. Before I show you the exact layout, this is not this one, I did want to show you that sometimes layouts are not perfect. For example, sometimes you don't need tons of a resource, or sometimes you want to plug something on an existing layout. For example, here, I already have my coal that's coming, I already have my iron. So what I did here is I just plugged this new steel production on an existing layout that was already there. So it's not perfect, definitely not, but as you can see, it is working. The blast furnace here is creating molten iron. The molten iron is transformed with oxygen into molten steel, and then this cool caster making steel. My steel is coming here, sending this steel over here to make parts level 3. As a spoiler, I'm also sending some over here to make some liquid nitrogen. So this is not perfect, but sometimes, this still works. Now, today I want to show you a perfect layout. Here it is before it's getting built. Now I'm going to unpause and use a lot of Unity, but then don't worry, I'm going to show you how to build it from scratch. I have definitely some resources, as you can see, so it is getting built quite quickly. And here it is. Then on the blast furnace, we want to create from iron. Going to press V to select it and copy it. And then for the other two, this is already selected. The only thing I could do is make sure to click here on off, because sometimes the game still doesn't work perfectly with those auto mode. So let me quickly explain what's going on, and then we'll build it from scratch. And hopefully in the meantime, it will get started. So what is happening is, as we said, we're taking some coal. The coal is at my level 1. You can see there's only one ramp, it goes to level 1, all the way over here. And of course, it goes here, there, there, and there. We only need one conveyor belt because this is only 9. So that's 18, that's 36. Even on the level 1, 60 per minute, no problem. And the iron is a bit more challenging because this is 24 per building. So we can't have all 4 on the same belt at level 1. At level 2 you can, but if it's level 1, you need 2. So basically this is when I have this first one here, level 0, and the second one, level 0 on the other side. That goes, of course, here, there, here, and here. Goes into the blast furnace, will create a molten iron, but also exhaust and slag. The exhaust is coming out over here and over there, and the molten is going straight just one tile away. And lastly, the slag is coming back from here, here, and there to level 2, and going down into this one over here. Then for oxygen furnace, we need to take this molten iron that's coming here, add some oxygen, and we are going to also have some exhaust to deal with. So once again, you can see the exhaust. One is on the side over here, one is on the side over here, and one is in the middle over there for both of these. This is only 24, so we can definitely have a small exhaust of 60 for both. You could also not have 3 of them, but just to make it super compact, this is the best way. Then we need oxygen, and oxygen, this is what's coming at level 2 over here. This is created over here in the air separator. We actually need 2 of them. And you can see here I made a mistake. This is not connected. Funny story, I was wondering why this is not connecting over here. And this is because this is not flat actually. This is between level 0 and level 1. There's some dirt and this is preventing me from blocking. So good learning from everyone. When you're planning to build something, make sure you're on flat terrain. You haven't put some dirt or they're not a mountain starting, because otherwise you can have a problem like this. But that's fine. I'll show you how it's supposed to be and then we'll build it next to it on flat terrain. So anyway, as I said, the oxygen will come from here, and this is 36 plus 36. So this is the only place where you actually need a level 2 pipe. We'll have a level 2 pipe that starts here, level 0, and that goes to level 2. Then from here, it goes down, down, and then connect at level 0 on both of these. So this one doesn't need to be level 2, only this first part here needs to be level 2. Similarly, then it continues over here, and once again here it doesn't need to be level 2 either, because this is just 18 and 18. Then the molten will go over here into a cooler caster that also takes water. The water is coming from over here. I've here put a groundwater pump. Of course, if you have a desalination plant or something like this, that's fine too. If you have a groundwater pump, what's interesting is that this is actually 48. 48, this one is 6. So the 4 that we have here, this is 24. So basically, if you want one of these groundwater pump, can be enough for 2 of these. So yeah, I can copy this whole thing on this side and just have one water pump in the middle. So the water just goes at level 0 here, then level 1 to go above the molten channel, 0, 1, 0, 1, all the way to the end over here. Then this creates steel. Of course, the steel comes out over here, over there. It goes into this unit storage. We should say this is steel. It comes also over here. And for this one here, this is producing 12, right? So what you can do is have it goes this way and that way. This way you'll have 6 this way, 6 that way. And 6 is exactly what you need for this chemical plant. This chemical plant is nitrogen plus steel. So I have 6 of steel coming from here. So we have our nitrogen that's being produced here, and it's 36, 36. We only need 18 when this is functioning. So we definitely need a balancer, which will do a couple of things. First is whenever it's produced, it's going to come from here and will go first as a priority. That's why I clicked on priority into this one, into the chemical plant. Then if it's full, it will go either here to get some storage, or it will go and be burnt into the smokestack. If I want, I can put also a priority first on this one to make sure this gets filled, and then lastly it will go over here. This way it will not get full of nitrogen, obviously, because if it's full, then it's not working anymore. Now let me show you how to build this from scratch, because there's definitely a few tips if you want to make it as compact as this is here. Of course, I will also, as always, post on my Discord community screenshot where you can see tile by tile and count and all of this. And don't hesitate to check in the video description below also the playlist for many more of these layouts. Okay, so now let me show you how to make it from scratch. Obviously, right now I'm going to make it just next to it, because as I said, you can use only one groundwater pump, was 48, and still feed all of this plus all of this. But you can of course make it anywhere you want on your map. You start with the blast furnace, copy it, press F, so that the two chimneys are next to each other, and you can put it really next to each other. No need to leave any tiles in between, because we're gonna put the chimney over here. Then you copy that, and here this time you're going to leave 2 tiles. The reality is we don't fully need 2 tiles. You could do with only 1, but then it will look a bit ugly because some of the molten channel won't be fully aligned. So let's just put 2 tiles. Then in terms of this here, we're obviously going to need some storage unless it's coming already from somewhere. Your storage can of course be also on the side if you prefer, depending on your map, but to make it simple, I'm going to put the storage in front. How many tiles do you need? Well, you need 8 tiles. So let's actually start by counting those 8 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 4, this is also where we're going to have something like this. And then 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can connect, of course, make sure that you connect on the red. You can also already make the next one, which can connect to the first one or the second. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to do like this. And this one is going to be the iron. Now the coal can be on either side. And of course, this, I put it at level 0. I could have also put this one at level 1. It doesn't really matter. You just put one at level 0, one at level 1. Let's put now this one on this side. Could put it on the other side, of course, if I wanted. Again, here, now we're going to go to level 1. So you press E. You can also press R to make sure that it doesn't connect. And then you can run it both ways. Usually I like to first run it further to just make sure it's clean, and then you can start again. You do it like this, where you start at level 1 and then you press Q to go down. If you have R not selected, then you can just make sure you click on level 1 and get to level 0 like this. It's often easier, and then we can delete all the excess. Let's do then the exhaust. As I said, we're going to put it on the side like this side and that side. And then we connect with the normal pipe. There's no need for level 2 pipe, which will cost more money. Okay. Then we're going to connect to our next element, which is the oxygen furnace. So here we obviously want to connect the molten to the molten, but we do need to be careful about where the exhaust and where the oxygen is. And this is actually here, like such. Okay, so you want to leave 1 tile in between here and then 2 tiles here. 2 tiles, and of course you want the exhaust to be on the outside each time. Then we're just going to copy this and put it again. And here you need to make sure that of course it is aligned with the molten. You can see this is a line, but you once again leave 1 tile, and here we're going to have 2 tiles. And that is now perfectly aligned. Whereas if I had only left 1 tile here, this wouldn't have been aligned. Having done that, let's do a molten, which starts over here, over here, over here, and over here. Now the last one of this first level is the slag. You go here and you go back. Then you can press E twice to go to level 2. Go all the way like this. Similarly here, you start level 0, and what's important is that you stay at level 0 for a couple of tiles. This way, you can connect this one directly here. You don't have to put a second one, because that would cost you a lot more for nothing. You have no reason to create a second one. And here you connect to level 2, of course, and then the last one is this one. You go back to level 0. Go on the side and you connect again to level 2. Perfect. I'm going to delete this one over here. And you need a third one. Of course, this one you need to rotate it so that you have the green part coming. And here you can connect back on the side to this one or this one. Doesn't really matter which one you prefer. Perfect. So here it is. We have connected the first level. Now we go to the second level. There's some exhaust. Let's start over here. That is a simple. This one will just connect right to it. This costs really nothing, right? It costs 8 in very easy mode. It costs just a bit more in the hardest difficulty. Then this one, you can put it basically over here. I could have turned it around, but it's sort of fine. That will still work like this. And you connect. Okay, so we've connected all of this. And then before we connect the oxygen and the last molten. Let's put the last building in line. This is the cooled caster. This is only 12 to make 12, and this is also creating 12. So it's 1 for 1. So all good here. Now we need to rotate it, of course, to align, and we need to leave one space. This is good like this. One space. So as you can see, the molten is perfectly aligned. That's easy, we can start there. Then we need the water, and there's the oxygen here. I'm actually going to start with the water. So once again, if you put it next to it, then you can just connect from the water here. If you're making from scratch, you can put a pump. You can put it on each side, this side or that side, doesn't really matter. The only thing I would say is probably on one side you put the water, on the other side you put your air separator, just to make it a bit more dispersed, but you don't even need. You also don't need if you don't want to do any. Also, if you want to make it super simple, you can just put it like this, and then you're going to have your pipe just run straight. If you want to take advantage of the fact that you're producing more than what is being used, I suggest you make something simple, like having a pipe balancer one tile away. You need one tile because the pipe needs a pipe. The pipe balancer needs a pipe. So that way, this is your input. And then, you can have something like this to run directly. Very easy, you just run it through. It basically adds level 0 and just going automatically to level 1 when you have the molten. And what you can do is then have, a second pipe. It can come out from any of the exit to go either into something else that's needed, or just a reservoir like this one. And then the only thing you need to do is by clicking on the pipe balancer, you click on priority in this one to make sure that the water goes first here. So we've done our water, we still need to do the oxygen and the exit. So let's do first quickly the exit. It doesn't really matter if you want several of these, you can, but also you can also just put one sort of in the middle if you wish. We don't need a level 2 conveyor, just a level 1 will be fine. Connect first the one in the inside, then the one in the outside, like this. Then we need to have our air separators. We're going to have 2, and we're going to put them, we're going to rotate it as such so that the oxygen is on the inside as close as possible, the nitrogen is on the outside, and here you line so that when we put a conveyor belt from here, it is just above. Perfect. So then we copy it, we're going to rotate it, press F, and here you don't have to put many tiles, just one tile away. This is fine, only one tile. Then, as I said earlier, this is the only place where you do need to make sure this is a level 2 pipe. So what we're gonna do, and what you do is you run it from both directions. This way it is connected, and then you can delete this one. We need a level 2 at least until we get over here. Then press E twice to get to level 2. Now we are at level 2, so you can press E, you can press once, and then we're going to go over here and go all the way over here. And then when you are here, you can press Q to go back to the ground. Why to go back to the ground? Because if you were to try to connect from above these ones, it wouldn't work, because you wouldn't be able to connect. Versus now that I'm on the ground, I can definitely connect. I cannot connect over here, but I can connect over here without any problem. So that's the way it's done. You connect here to there. And then you go back pressing E to the top part. You continue it. Once again, you get over here. And then you go this way, and then you go on the ground. Perfect. And then you connect, and from there, once again, you can connect over here. So it is, our oxygen is done. Now, if you haven't unlocked the chemical plant with this nitrogen plus steel to make liquid nitrogen, that is okay. You're just going to flare all of this nitrogen with this, right? You put a small stack basically over here, and then you just connect it and you know, burn it. But if you have unlocked it, then I definitely suggest that you put your chemical plant just next to it. Basically, again, one tile away. You can't put it connected, but one tile is fine. And you need to flip it. So press F and R so that the steel is at the top and the nitrogen is at the bottom. So here, that should be totally fine like this. This way, we're going to once again connect first with a level 2 pipe. Don't need this one. Perfect. So we start with level 2 pipe, connecting one side, then connecting the other side. Then we can delete this. This will go once again into a pipe balancer. I can put it even closer if I want. It's one tile away. Make it as clean and as short as possible. This pipe balancer, I don't need a level 2 pipe, then I only need a level 1 pipe to go on this one. That's perfect. Then here we need our conveyor belt level 1 to come over here. Perfect. Then, of course, this is my priority, but when this is not working or when this is full, I need another way for the gas to go somewhere. I can, of course, also store a bit. So you can have a storage, for example, we put it here one tile away so that we have space for a pipe. This can also be a pipe level 1. And then if this is full, then we need to flare it. So once again, you just put a small stack. You do have to be careful, this is only 60. So if you have all of these 36 plus 36 that are really going full and all of this is full, this won't be enough. So you may want to have a large one, or you may want to have always storage, basically space. And then here you put your pipe level 2. Perfect. This costs a bit more, but actually not crazy. You know, if you are at this point in the game, you should definitely be able to put a large pipe like this. And then the last thing we haven't done is to put a unit storage over here. I suggest you connect it directly to it. Why directly? This way you don't have a conveyor belt, you don't need to pay for the belt. In particular, you don't need to pay the electricity. Of course, later on, if you need to go somewhere, you can always have a belt that comes from here, but at least you have the storage this way. So it is, ladies and gents. I don't think I forgot anything. If I did, don't hesitate to put it in the comments below. But with this, you can produce 48 steel per minute. With both of these, that's almost 100. And again, with one groundwater pump, you can definitely do 2 of these. So it is, this is the great, efficient, beautiful layout that I suggest you go for. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't hesitate to smash the like button, and I hope to see you next time.